sinners and sinners. It's midnight
Hey
in
there.
Central Europe.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Dobry
Good,
wieczór.
Hi, hello.
All right. We're all here. Can you hear me, Scarlet?
Yes, of course I can hear you.
Oh, perfect. Well, first off, real pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too, finally.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Going back to the first days of LCC, if I remember right, you were the only member of the core team to release your initial real name from the get-go. Did I remember that right?
Yes, that's correct.
So how did you arrive at that decision? I was just curious.
Well, to be very honest, it's always like if someone has nothing to lose, is the most dangerous person and most.
You mean nothing to hide? No?
Exactly. So I had nothing to hide because I had nothing to lose. So it's just like that.
You know, that's really cool. Because I can. It first came out. I was wondering, who are these people? What is this? But when I saw that you were real, and I could see that you had a pretty strong presence in the gaming world, it was intriguing to me, and it gave me a sense of, okay, I'm willing to follow this where it goes. So that's cool. How did you meet the LCC guys?
Well, to
Right.
be very honest,
Sorry.
I would like to plead the fifth.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to guess that you beat them in some kind of game, and then they had to do it.
It's pretty funny. I was that gets me to tell you the whole story, how I got onto crypto and such. So,
and we could start back at the beginning. That was just a question I'd always had. Wherever you want to go with it.
all right, so let's go. That was like 2012, I believe, 2013, just before the first Bitcoin jump to 1000. I've decided to finally go into like proper mining Bitcoin and such, and I got the first mining rigs, etc., because I've been watching Bitcoin since the very fucking beginning.
Oh, okay.
And I used to listen how stupid I am that I believe into magic money from the internet. And I've jumped onto getting mining rigs from China and selling them forwards, because I had my way to go through the customs, because in Poland it's pretty strong border, where they used to hold our devices for a month without even noticing they are already here or giving you any information about that. So I got into crypto, I mined a bit, and then
not to interrupt here. So you're saying when you order came to the country, they would hold it for a month before you got it?
even longer, but we got our way through the customs, so we were able to manage to get this hold of period for like 2 weeks, and even less sometimes after fighting with them, etc. So I became like Antminer distributor for Polish market. And I used to mine a lot. I can find some pictures on my old Twitter. I was like, there was like pool 50 BTC. I was it was pretty big pool back in the days, and I was on the third place there. So it was pretty much a lot of hash power I had, and people used to buy miners from me, and it was pretty cool. But then the Bitcoin crisis came when the price dropped from 1,000 and something to almost, a couple hundreds. So we had to start selling off, and the customs went to, oh, sorry, you owe us money because that's something that gives you money. So we did the wrong taxation on it, and you have to pay a lot more. Blah blah blah. So we had to sell off everything, and basically we shut down the business. So I just fucked off.
And this is 2012,
2013,
2013.
it started in late 2012 and end up like in late mid 2014.
Wow. So that's just you're not exactly a fan of centralized control, I'm guessing.
Of course not. That's why I'm.
Yeah.
So that's my origin story, and then I had a break from crypto for some time. And I moved to UK, and like in 2000, it was 2017 actually, late, like November or something like that. Let me double.
Well, I noticed, at least the research I've done, your Twitter, whatever you were doing before November of 2017, it stopped until January, February of 2018 when you became LitecoinCash.
Well, you did your research, yes. Well, actually, I've joined, crypto back in October 2017. And I've met Tanner by completely coincidence on Bitcoin Gold. Slack. Yeah,
okay.
just
Bitcoin Gold Slack.
Yeah, exactly. Just
wow.
I was holding some private keys, and then I noticed there were forks, and I was like, well, I'm in a shit situation because I was in really shitty situation. I needed money for some medical treatment for my ex-wife, and I had to get money. So actually, I was browsing the space, and I've noticed, wow, there is a forks, and I've got some private keys from the previous days, and I still have some Bitcoins, and well, maybe that's the time where I should join back. And I joined Bitcoin Gold because I've noticed that's the current fork, and we just, I was browsing the space, and there was a guy that jumped in, and he said, oh, I'm running some project, and I was like, well, I wish I could help you with it. And he showed me his project, and we started talking, and we came up to the idea that we should try to run this together with. He was about to introduce me to Roger and Loxley. And that's how it went. Like, we've met on Bitcoin fucking Gold before, like Tanner said in the chat, before they went, into dodgy thingies. So we pretty much soon moved out of it and start working on crypto. And that's actually something that Tanner already covered, because like he said, we had one project almost ready to launch, but then we decided to jump on LitecoinCash and start doing it. So that's how I met Tanner and the rest of the team, through Bitcoin Gold, I would say.
That is hilarious. So you are the foundational four: you, Roger, Tanner, and Loxley. That is LitecoinCash from the get-go. So I guess tell me about yourself. I mean, first off, I don't want to mispronounce your last name. It's Michael. I don't want to dox you, but you are on the main web page with your full name. If you could say how it's pronounced, I'd love to know that.
Wyszynski.
Wyszynski. Okay, Wyszynski. But you go by Scarlet. Where does that handle come from? Wyszynski. Okay.
Yeah, more or less something like that. So yeah. What was your question?
So where does Scarlet come from? The handle.
Oh, I don't know if you noticed, but Scarlet, Roger, Loxley, and Tanner is a bunch of guys from Robin Hood, dude.
So this is funny. I didn't realize that, but before this interview, I was thinking Scarlet Prince of Thieves, and for whatever reason, that name was in my head. So
King, bro. King. It's not the prince. Don't
the King of Thieves, Scarlet King of Thieves. Wow. So this is about Robin Hood then.
Yeah, exactly.
That is pretty cool. Scarlet King of Thieves. That should totally be your name. I mean, you've got the larger than life personality. I love it. So you're from Poland. Tell me a little bit of kind of like how you grew up, how you got into even, computers to begin with.
Well, where to begin? I was born in Warsaw, but raised in the really nice city called Milanówek, which is the
Milanówek.
where, yes, it's a place where they used to have the biggest cotton manufacture.
Oh,
Cotton.
okay.
Silk, sorry, it's silk.
Silk. Okay.
Silk.
Milanówek.
And they were producing fudges too. You know that creamy fudge is called Polish fudge, I think.
So fudge is in the chocolate confection.
Yes. It's not
So
really
fudge
chocolate,
and silk.
or like a caramelized thingy. But yeah, we got that city is famous through like whole Europe just by making the fudge and silk.
That's cool. I can tell you this, having eaten European chocolate, American chocolate is just absolute shit. It's wax. So if this fudge is renowned in Europe, that's some pretty special fudge. That's pretty.
So DM me your address and I will bribe you with some fudge.
I will get that to you. Deal.
But anyway, yeah, I was born in Warsaw, raised in Milanówek, and then on my 8th, when you get that Christian ceremony and you get your first how you call it, communion stuff.
Communion, yeah.
Yeah, I got my first PC.
Okay.
Like actual desktop. But before that, I had like Atari and C64. My father used to play games like crazy, and inviting his friends, beating the high scores, stuff like that. So I was always around this kind of thing. Then we got Super Nintendo. Always playing games. Then I, at my 8, got my desktop, and then I broke it. So I had to fix it because it was like, if you broke it, you have to fix it. So I got into books.
Sure.
I got into books, and it was simple. It was really simple thing, just reinstall Windows. But yes, sleeping. Yes, I remember Pegasus. It was our Super Nintendo, bruh.
Pegasus.
Yeah, that's a code name for a Polish version. I mean, not even Polish. It was like our part of Europe version of Super Nintendo.
Okay, very good. It was Pegasus. That was the Polish Super Nintendo.
Yeah, and it was complete ripoff from Famicom one. It was like exact looking same, but etc. But it was legal, like sleeping is saying. It was legal to distribute it, even though it was legal to just copy your fucking games from the Super Nintendo or whatever, Famicom, and you just sell them on the market, not just like market, Sunday market. You used to have stands with games.
That was the Eastern European way of living.
So what is this? A Saturday market, you call it?
Sunday market, I
The
think.
Sunday
it's
market.
called.
So what about this is uniquely Eastern European?
Well, I think it came to the end, to be honest, because of all these regulations that pop out like within the last couple of years. But in Poland, we had very famous place, a stadium in the middle of our capital city, and few years ago, you were able to go there and just, wander around through the stalls with the CD boxes all over the place, where you just trade your CDs for another CD, or you just buy a very cheap and really funny copies, because most of the cracked things came with like I'm talking especially about games. Most of the stuff came with like Russian dubbing. So it
Okay.
was pretty funny to play, Need for Speed when you hear something like "Один, два, три, пошел."
I'm guessing that's Russian for Need for Speed.
Yes, exactly. It was like 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah. So it was pretty funny to play all these games because you wanted to see them because it's something new and you couldn't afford to get brand new CD from the store because games in Poland were always expensive. So you went to the stadium and you just buy the game, but then you install it, it looks all fine, but then you hear Russian people talking in the game.
Like, shit.
Yeah, so it was pretty funny.
So that's really interesting to me. So that the Sunday market. So it's not like the farmers market that I'm imagining it. It's this big tech market.
Like farmer markets, but instead of vegetables and fruits, you've got CDs and softwares.
Yeah, right on. I love it. So that's kind of where you came up. That's where you cut your teeth.
Yeah, exactly. I've been into into computers since I was young. When I got that PC and I fixed it because I reinstalled Windows, my parents divorced, and then my mom was meeting one of the guy, and he was pretty cool uncle. He got me more into it because I start wondering how the things are made, not only just to play games. He was one of the first person in Poland that was making like full motion animations. I don't remember right now what was the software, but he was making like 3D animation. Probably he was doing like stuff, demo scene stuff like Tanner.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to ask. Okay, very cool.
But for me, it was like, what the fuck is 3D movie?
Yeah.
So I got inspired, and I wanted to go more into this and more into this. So through the school, I was like given the lessons instead of taking them about the computer science, because we had pretty shitty teachers, and they used to teach us how to use Word and Paint, where I was able to make my first website. So,
oh wow!
So they were asking me,
whole new level.
Train your colleagues how to make a website. And
so I guess let me ask you this, just so I can kind of get the transition right. How much of your life was under a communist government, and then when it fell there in the late 80s, early 90s?
Well, I was born in 1986, so not much into not much in official communist, government.
Yeah.
But if you look into the news right now, well, it seems like I'm still under it. Because we used to,
Wow.
we supposed to get like presidential voting on 10th of May, but it didn't happen. And the government, especially the ruling party, is just making fuck all out of it, just for their own, their own success and propaganda and such things. So yeah.
So I'm guessing it's always been a
It's
situation
pretty much
where,
up here.
yeah, and honestly, pay attention to America here. Coming the election in November, we may not be far behind you. So who knows what's going to happen.
I've been watching that, and I can see that too.
So you really have always come up in under I would say where you kind of have to be an entrepreneur. It sounds like at school, you were learning stuff that you're teaching the teachers.
Yep, that's what happened.
And where did that go from there?
Well, it went to I was doing simple websites, and I'm like a jack of all trades, to be honest, because
Yes.
when I find something cool, I just start doing it, and then I'm trying to find a way to make money out of it. So I used to do like electrician work and plumbers, wood stuff like making furniture, and not only renovation of the furniture. Lot of stuff I've been doing, because all the things you do gives you experience, which you can. It's funny because I even now use experience which I get from being electrician or plumber or whatever I did.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of stuff. I was even a banker. Couple
Wow.
years ago, I used to work in a bank, and pretty huge bank. It was Raiffeisen.
Okay, I've heard of them. They're in
It
Germany.
Paul Bank. It was called Paul Bank EFG Cassius before RFG Raiffeisen bought them. So I used to be there. I used to work on back office and set up the whole fucking call center, all their procedures and stuff. Because
Okay.
that's how I work. I see the thing, I get how it working, and then I'm trying to make it better, or I'm just trying to make it work better.
Yeah, you're very much get shit. I've seen that in.
You've been cut off. I think it's
Oh,
through.
I was going to say you're very much get shit done. You make things happen. I've seen that.
Yeah, that's mostly what I do. Or I'm doing whatever it takes to make it happen. Or at least try to make it.
Exactly. And if not, you'll figure it out.
Yep.
So let me ask you this. Please continue.
Oh, I just said yeah.
So I was going to say, with our Desert Island Disc, your twist on this is I noticed you have a really large presence, at least from what I can see in the gaming world. How have you gotten into the gaming world?
Well,
Or I guess, what do you do there?
I'm into gaming a lot. Well, sorry, I just read the I just read the comment from Tanner. Well, it's not low level design, dude. It's Scoopao gonna win one day. Trust me, it's gonna fucking win one day.
Scoop Pal. I have no idea what that is. For those of us like me, what is that?
That's something I've invented. Is like a hybrid between proof of stake and proof of work, where it's it led us to get Hive done, but it's stake qualified proof of work. It means you have to stake money in order to be able to make proof of work. So
Okay.
you had to keep some, some bunch of coins. Yeah, we had implementations out there. We had it done. It deserved making another coin, but shh, don't tell anyone.
Okay, we heard that here first. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's something I've came up with, because I was thinking like how we stop proof of work from jumping right in with whatever you have in your pocket. Like you've got 5 petahashes and you have to jump in. How we stop it? So I was like, well, we can't do proof of stake because it has flaws and all this. It's just reacher gets richest. So there is no point in that. So I was like, let's just qualify them in order to be able to proof of work. So I came up with, you have to spend your coinage in order to be able to make proof of work.
And that's how the Hive came out, right? Where you burn your coin.
Yeah. After that,
Okay.
we did we did a couple trials. We fucking built Scupo blockchain from scratch. We still have it somewhere, but
wow,
we did that, and then we were like, nah, we need to, we still need to keep SH8256 and find other way to solve our issues, and then we came up with Hive. But
okay.
I do believe Scupo got us into making Hive.
Okay, and SCOPO is the acronym State Qualified Proof of Work.
Yes, that's exactly what it is, and it's perfect.
I love that.
It perfectly describes it, because you have to spend coinage in order to be able to do proof of work.
Yeah. Okay. I can say it makes sense to me what you're saying. The technology, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. And I guess maybe that's for an episode of What the Fuck is Crypto? Make it happen down the road.
Yeah, that could be done. Well, I'm kind of same, because the funny thing about me is I know a lot of things, but on this other hand, I have no idea about many things. So what I do is I look at the stuff and I think how to make it better or how to bring something new. And then I just come up with like tons of ideas, and we try them sometimes. Sometimes we just teach them at the beginning, and then things come out. So that's how Scupo was born.
That's epic. I mean, and this is stuff I don't know who else knew about this, but it's brand new to me. I'm loving it. Well, I guess to go back here, because I don't want to forget about this. So rather than Desert Island Disc, we did your Desert Island games. And oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and the first game, I think I've said it was Fallout.
Yep, that's what I have. Fallout.
Fallout, yes, that's the first game I really, really loved, because that was the first real game that gave me real freedom inside it.
Now, but little I know of it, it's a save the world game, right?
It's more like save. The first Fallout was more like save your village game.
Okay. Save your village, then save the world.
Yeah. It was something about it's post-apocalyptic. World went nuts. Everything was just fuck all. Nuclear destroyed. You have to eat iguana on a stick, which I'm still making on my fucking barbecue every Sunday, or at least
iguana steak.
Iguana on a stick, yeah. You have
Okay,
to
is
take
that tasty?
in order to be, to keep up with the others. Such things. And
Okay.
you can go to the store, you can steal, you can kill, you can do whatever you want. That game gave me freaking freedom. And the
Yeah.
most epic part of this game is the actual, not even Easter eggs, but random encounters, where you can even meet Doctor Who on the way through the
Oh, wow.
wasteland. You go through the wasteland, and suddenly the phone booth pops up, and that's, comment, oh, not this timeline, blah, blah, blah. We just have to go to the other place. And the phone booth just fucks off. So it's really, really funny. And the freedom, the storyline behind it, the actual thing in Fallout first, you had, you remember MacGyver?
Oh,
Of
yeah.
course.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. MacGyver was the president of, I believe it was Hub. I don't remember exactly because it's a long time didn't play, but I believe MacGyver was the president of the city called Hub or something in that game,
That's
and
awesome.
it introduced whole new solutions into the gaming world, like tour-based, but not only, because you could move normally, but fight was like tour-based. So
Huh.
it's really, really worth to play, I would say.
Well,
And the
I mean,
music.
this is like Tanner's music. I hadn't heard about any of these games, but if it has a MacGyver and iguana on a stick, man,
Well,
I'm guessing once
Iguana,
you get a taste for iguana,
right? They
you
have
never go back.
everything there. It's freaking awesome. Especially Fallout 1 and Fallout 2 is the best. Is the best of the best. And
Ooh,
I just say you have to play it.
Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. I'll talk to my daughters and I'll have them show me the way. They're my little computer
Well,
geniuses.
send you links. I think I have one copy on the gift, so I can just
Oh,
send.
good. I'll look for
And
that.
No illegal copies.
How old are you, if I may ask?
Yes, I'm 48, so I was born in 72.
You might remember Wasteland, game called Wasteland.
I don't. The Who, the English rock band, had the song
If
"Teenage
he's not a
Wasteland."
gamer, he doesn't remember. I mean, it wasn't
Well,
so popular.
If he's playing games, then yeah, it's just, or if he didn't play games, right?
Not in
He
a
might.
huge way. I was probably one generation off. But it's fascinating to me because I notice, and we'll go to your other games here, but these are very much story-based games, right? Where you're in a world and you can have an adventure.
Yes and no. I mean, I'm all about the story in these games, but not only the freedom it gives you around the choices you made. That's the whole thing. That's one of the first games that introduced the pick up your storyline, pick up your answers, and bear the consequences. That's why I picked them up.
And so those consequences follow you through the game then.
I said something like, it was Fahrenheit with little big adventure, isn't it? I couldn't decide which one of that was it, to be exact. To be my second one.
Yeah, you had Indigo Prophecy and Little Big Adventure. Now I know Indigo Prophecy, that's three different. You can go in the point of view, is it, of the victim, the murderer, and the detective? Is that right?
Yes.
That
And
sounds
you're
awesome.
actually in that game, you've been accused about, murdering someone, but you feel like you've been possessed, and through the game you explain all the story. And whole story is based on your decisions as well. So that's why I find this game the game I want to play wherever I fucking can, honestly, because I've played this game 3 times. I've got 3 different endings, and still something. I do feel something is waiting for me. So it's just like
sounds epic.
Yeah, that's why. That's why this title. But Little Big Adventure, we getting back into the times where I get my first PC. That's why I
Well, I was
remember
going to
this.
say, I looked it up and I'm like, this seems unusually sweethearted and tender. Yeah, that didn't seem part of your, bombastic personality. So yeah, tell me about that.
Yeah, that game introduced also something cool, because what they did, they introduced like 3 states of your character. You could either be normal, fighting state, or stealth. And it was also isometric, and the storyline behind it was also pretty cool, because you had to stop bad guys from getting your lady, yada yada yada. So pretty much about techniques and the revolution it brought to the gaming space about the actual states of the character, and the solutions they did was pretty much innovative, in my opinion. Maybe in other people's opinion it's pretty shitty game, but I really liked that game.
So when the character has a state, I'm guessing the state changes their interaction with the environment, which changes the play of the game.
Exactly. Okay. If you're in normal state, you can talk, you can interact with the items, etc., etc. In fighting state, you just fight with the enemies, and it stealth, you just hiding and you are silent, but you can't do other interaction that other states allows you to do. So
Oh,
and
so
it
you're
wasn't
a
like
malicious ghost, or
it
like
wasn't
a poltergeist.
like in the other games. It wasn't like just crouch or punch or just talk. It was in states, so it was pretty much something new.
That is pretty cool.
And the last game,
Longest Journey.
holy. The Longest Journey is one of the best games I've ever played. But I could put it on the stand. I could put it on the stand with Mass Effect, to be honest.
And what is Mass Effect?
Just regarding the Mass Effect, yeah. I mean, it's completely different stories and completely differently written games. I mean, one is a point-and-click adventure game, and the second one is like a full third-person experience where you have cinematic movies, cinematic cutscenes, and cinematic scores and such things. But what is most important in The Longest Journey is the story and the things it gives you to think about. Because what happens in The Longest Journey, you live in 2 separate parallel universes, where one is like, to show it in our times is just pretty cool cyber blockchain utopia we lived in, and the other one is a fantasy world when the something like chaos is trying to take over control and destroy it all. So the storyline behind it is just freaking awesome. I don't want to say anything about the storyline because I'm gonna spoil it all, so I don't want to do it. Just the way the game is. It's at the end, when you go through whole the game experience, you feel like you've read a book.
Oh wow.
And you keep moving, and you always feel like, wow, that's a book is worth to get back to.
And every time you go back into that universe, it's a different experience. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's
Okay.
similar experience, but whenever you play it again, it might give you at the end a different ending, but that's not the whole case. The whole case is the story, the way it's written, dialogues, the whole everything. Actually, about this game is just fucking everything. And I do believe the same happens with Mass Effect, which is sci-fi third-person role-play game based in the world we might be living in pretty much soon. But
And this is a separate game called Mass Effect, or that's a technique.
Yes, it's the separate game. It's the separate like trilogy. Same like Longest Journey. That's why I was, pretty much it was pretty much difficult for me to choose any of them because I have a lot of titles. I've got like I said about the music, it would be fucking festival. Well, this one would be like E3 of the fucking your favorite games.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing. I would be telling you, I love Assassin's Creed since the first part because I love it. The storyline, the concept about you being able to go into the your ancestor body and memories through your DNA is fucking awesome concept, and I love it. And then you have Doom, which I love to play because I love to smash things and make it marty with shotgun.
I was gonna say there's the Scarlet I was waiting for.
Yeah,
let me back you up there. I wanted to make sure I heard you right on this one. So to live an ancestor's life from their point of view, what game is that?
Assassin's Creed.
Creed?
What they do in this game, they actually put you in the seat. They plug you the like helmet. Yeah, Assassin's Creed. They plug you helmet on the head. They check your DNA and they look for your ancestors. Whatever connects you with the people living like hundreds years ago through your DNA, you are able to recall their memories or do the stuff they did and relive their lives.
Holy shit.
In order to get information and such things. So it's complete. It just, what I love? Inception kind of games.
Yes.
That's the stuff I love.
I mean, it definitely fucks with reality, but not just by messing up reality, but it enters you into an entirely different reality, a parallel life.
Yeah, exactly. By the concept itself, it just makes you wonder what the fuck is going on. And like with these epic movies, like I don't know if you watched Interstellar or Inception.
Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah.
And all these movies are made just to play with your, even Matrix, the good old Matrix. It just made play with your mind and the way you notice and you receive the universe. Same with the game. Some games are made that way, which make them epic, which make them make you think.
Yes. It's funny because there's a part of life that doesn't feel real. But to me, the most real parts of life are the relationship parts in any you know, as we are in an alternate universe. I mean, it's how you met Tanner and the other guys in an alternate universe, more or less, online in a forum. It's fascinating.
Yeah, that's the real part of life. But honestly, it wouldn't happen without. For me, it wouldn't happen without me watching some particular movies, reading some particular books, or playing some particular games. Because that, even though if it doesn't bring anything into your life, it changes the way you see life. You perceive these things called life and the surroundings and the stuff, you know, life throws at your face. You just think differently. It gives you,
it changes your state, right? Changes your state.
exactly. Even though if you know it's a fucking game or a book or whatever, you just have that single small thought about what if. And
I gotta say,
I really,
those moments. Go ahead.
yeah. And I can say I'm what if guy. That's what I am.
The what if. But I gotta say, those moments of what if, those are some of the most real moments of life to me, where I feel like I'm just almost peeking in behind what's really going on, whatever is going on. And those are magical. And if you're telling me I'll feel that in Creed or a Long Journey, I'm playing the game. That sounds pretty epic.
You have to, bro. Honestly, you have to. That's gonna shake up the basis of your ground you're standing or having your chair on.
I'll do it. You know, I walked into this interview expecting to learn something about you, but it turns out you, and I will have you to thank for it. The what if. But I kind of want you to be the king of thieves too, though. You've got a lot of nicknames.
Yeah, because I do a lot of things. That's the other head. That's the other side.
That is true. You're not content to live just one life. You're big enough to live a lot of lives. That's awesome.
To all of you is what do you think about all nowadays, especially in the COVID situation, all are doing some simulations like skyline and everything, or tractor stuff or something. Is it because they all bored or they just want to go out?
Don't think I got the question correctly.
It's all the gaming platforms like the Nvidia stuff and PlayStation stuff.
Oh,
It's is going to simulation.
of course, especially now, like you said, within the COVID outbreak. Well, I do believe the simulations and the virtual reality solutions and how you call it, it's not cross reality, it's augmented reality.
Yes.
Are the solutions that we are targeting for to be succeed within the next 2 or 3 years, to be honest, because people's gonna
That
end
soon.
locked up pretty much quite often from the last outbreak, because whatever sneeze you're gonna have within the next couple years is gonna call X virus, and they're gonna put you home again. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying there is no I'm not saying there is no COVID or something like that. Don't get me wrong. I really believe in this shit.
Yeah.
It
Same.
is happening, and is pretty bad for everyone on economic and the fucking everyday day-to-day life. Is really fucking annoying thing, but
Yeah.
it's gonna happen more often because what they noticed is people tend to listen to them. So the government's gonna say jump, and people gonna jump because that's the right thing to do because government says that. That's where it's all getting to, slowly.
Which is pretty scary. So are you saying in
COVID, however deadly it is, and I'm not saying it's not deadly, right? I'm just saying it's out there. It's fucking dangerous. I don't want to put my family in risk or something like that. I don't want that kid in my house. But COVID is a fucking good excuse for government to do whatever they want, to push whatever the regulations they want, to tell you, well, we're fighting the pandemic, but let us have some rights out of you in order to fight this. So that's where it's going, and it's gonna go forward.
It's an opportunity to get controlled by some higher power.
Absolutely.
That's why we need Rialto, like Tanner said. That's why we need fucking Rialto, because we don't want to be controlled. We love our freedom as it is, at least our freedom of speech or whatever.
Yeah.
It's our right to be able to talk about whatever we want, right? So soon it happens in Poland. Like last weekend, we had all these entrepreneurs and business guys given like a strike, and they got gassed and beaten up by police because
shit.
they're doing nothing. Right in the fucking capital city, in the middle of fucking capital city.
Wow.
Fucked up by police, because police said, "Oh, we have our things to deal with, group meetings," and I don't know how to fucking
but that's an example of what you were just talking about, where they will use a real situation to act improperly, to act in an autocratic manner.
That's what I'm saying. It's just excuse for them. And our government promised to all the businesses big government help that's gonna solve all the fucking troubles you having. But almost no one's seen the money till today. And they bring I think it's fourth or fifth version is gonna come now about that help. Like they changing every few days, they changing something like that. And it's all about just taking your fucking rights and make you do whatever they want, not whatever you are fucking right, you have rights to do. Because it's about our fucking constitution here. We have some rights written down in fucking constitution, and our ruling party doesn't give a fuck about constitution. That's the whole story. Here in Poland, right now, fucking 2020.
It doesn't surprise me, because in America, 2020, we're watching our own constitution kind of shred apart.
Yeah,
exactly. And so that's the interesting thing about Rialto is, my first thought when I hear Rialto is, oh, what if pedophiles get a hold of this, right? For whatever reason, that's where my head goes.
Guys,
yeah.
One funny point. You all know Schwarzenegger, the ex California governor.
Yes.
His slang is like the Constitution means roughly in a slang in Austrian means you can go shower, and that's what it is.
Pretty much funny, but here in Poland, it gave you a lot since 1989. I think it was when we had the big, very famous fucking political things happen in Poland. And since that time, we had our peace till the moment where the how are they called in English? Big Fox, let's say. Big Fox took the majority in our government. They just doing nothing. They just playing for their own game and gain, and that's That's just fucked up. And people gonna run towards, you know, VR and extended reality, augmented reality.
Yeah. Where I wanted to kind of go back on that is, if we could meet, when you talk about augmented reality, that it has some very practical business applications to allow people to literally work remotely.
Well,
in a
honestly,
short space.
Rialto at some point could be taken into augmented reality. Honestly,
That would be amazing.
and at some point it's gonna be pretty fucking simple. I'm not saying right now, but once we gonna develop Rialto, sorry, it could be augmented reality. I'm not saying no, but you know, it all takes time. That's the whole thing about it. But I know Rialto itself is going to bring a lot of shakeup into the way they perceive cryptocurrency and such, because it's not gonna go easy way in the way we do it.
Yeah, I was going to say the way that you can't ban, right? And is it whatever fears people might have about a completely secure privacy communication channel, the benefits far outweigh that, because as we've all seen, the government doesn't behave responsibly, but we as people still need a medium to connect like-minded people.
Exactly what you said. We need something to connect, and we need something that it feels secure for us, right?
Yeah.
So how the fuck we supposed to connect through even Signal or I don't know, WhatsApp or whatever? It's not possible to feel secure. I know even now I'm talking, it's Google and Mark Zuckerberg and fucking Alexa is listening to me.
Yep. Apple, my iPhone's listening and broadcasting.
Yeah, everything is
everywhere.
fucking listening.
Yeah.
I don't want that in
Yep.
my fucking life. I wanted to shut down my fucking lights. That's it. It's like, shut down my fucking lights. Lights goes off. That's it. And that's all I want them to hear from me. Not fucking a part of that.
It just occurred to me.
Rialto can come in,
and basically turn off all the microphones and video cameras.
Yeah.
That is a great point, because growing up, like in the 70s and 80s, it's amazing to me that what that world was there, where I had autonomy as an individual, to this world where I'm literally connected to everything, and not always with my conscious will, right? A lot has happened in years, and this is pulling some of that power back to normal everyday people.
Well, see, my point is, I used to grow up where I had to walk like fucking 2 miles to see my friend, and if he wasn't at home, I had to fucking walk back. Sorry, bro, I'm not home, and then you're fucked. And it's fucking raining, and no one's gonna keep you here. Oh, sorry, come here. It's raining. No, it doesn't fucking happen. And now you can have your friends online, stuff online. Everything is being done online. So yeah, we need something like from these days, but in our times right now.
Yeah, to give us that sense to control our own life again while we're in an online space.
I used to send postcards, and I know no one was given a single fuck about what I'm sending through my letters or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, in at least Poland, you have new law that maybe is gonna come soon, that post office can open your letters, scan them, and send them to you, so you don't have to fucking go outside or whatever, open your mailbox and take them out. What for? They can do it for you.
Wow. So really, the big brother state, really just had bad marketing. In the book 1984, we're just helping you. That's all. We're reading your mail to help you. Guys,
That's
wow.
Story back from the 80s. Yeah, when I was at my grandparents' house, I couldn't use even the telephone because they only had a half telephone. Means you share it with your neighbor. So if he's
Dude,
talking, you can
we
talk.
used to have half telly, which means the whole fucking neighborhood was coming to our place to watch the fucking telly.
Way is
The
sweet. It's
other thing
heartwarming.
is about owning something. I guess nobody read the small print on the Google stuff. If you write something on Google Docs, yeah, it's
Yeah,
property of Google.
yeah. Which what kind of bullshit is that, right? Well,
Well,
it's like Facebook. You know,
whatever
Facebook turns out they're selling your
right.
soul
Same.
for you.
Sorry?
Oops, I think you were saying
I just said whatever you drop on Google Drive, it just becomes Google's in some
it does.
way. I was
Well,
about to
If you
call
write if you write a great novel, yeah, it's property of Google.
yeah.
if you do it on Google Drive, then yeah. You can fight with Google by showing them your pre-created files on your local desktop.
Course, with my 15 lawyers behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, I know we're running out of time. This has been a real pleasure, Scarlet.
For me too.
I mean, it's nice to know. I mean, in a way, I gotta say, knowing that you all pattern yourselves after the Robin Hood crew, and you are the king of the thieves, that gives me a huge level of comfort. Actually, you guys are you're going somewhere. This is pretty exciting.
Thank you very much. Whenever you need
Thank
me,
you.
knock 3 times on the oak tree in the woods.
I'll do it. Knock 3 times, but not if the tree itself's a knocking. Don't come knocking, because you might
No,
have
no,
stuff
no.
going on, right?
If the
Smoke
tree is
signs
fucking
from
done.
Utah will not work.
But I am going to take you up on that fudge, Scarlet.
Yeah, just direct message me, and I'm gonna send whatever I can.
Awesome.
I'm gonna be shattered by the quality, honestly. The first from here, much ever.
I believe
Anyway, thank you guys for
Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me. It was a real big pleasure to meet you and to be able to be in a part of these Friday open turntables. So please do play some music and let me go for a pee because I need to go to the toilet. It was 1 hour and I had a couple things already.
I was already 3 times while the interview. 3 times smoking, 3 times pee.
Shush! You're not supposed to say that before I go to the toilet. Come on, it's not,
The fucking devil. Okay. Let's play
You're
some
the best.
music.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Right on.
you. Whoa!